Thousands lined the streets for various royal visits. It wasn't unusual for British monarchs to visit Ireland. Queen Victoria and Edward VII made trips here. But that all changed in 1911. Queen Elizabeth II's grandfather, King George V, was the last monarch to tour the country, which was then part of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. Since then, a lot has happened. There have been many turbulent years. But leaders say relations between the two countries have never been better, with a number of significant milestones over the years, which has led to President Higgins' historic state visit to the United Kingdom this week. In May 1993, Mary Robinson became the first Irish president to travel to Britain to meet the Queen, a symbolic step in normalising Irish-British relations. 2 years later, and Prince Charles made a visit to Dublin, another important occasion. In 1998, the Good Friday Agreement was signed as part of the peace process. And a few months later, President Mary McAleese was joined by Queen Elizabeth II at the service of remembrance in Belgium. They were there to commemorate Irish men who gave their lives during World War I by officially opening the Island of Ireland Peace Park in Messines. It was the first public event undertaken jointly by a British monarch and the President of Ireland.
You called it an important day in the history of our island and indeed of our relationship with Britain. How far away now do you think a visit by Queen Elizabeth to Ireland is?
I can't put a time on it, and I wouldn't like to put a time on it because it's not in my gift to do so. That is not something that I will decide. But we're about the business of putting in place the kind of Ireland in which that kind of visit will happen and will be its memorable best. So that is the best I can say to you, that you can be sure that people are working to make sure that that happens. There's a lot of work to be done yet, but it is being done.
And it will happen?
Please God.
And it did. In May 2011, just under 3 years ago, Queen Elizabeth made the first state visit by a British monarch to the Republic of Ireland.
Agus Acoida.
During her trip, the Queen went to sites of significance for Irish nationalism, like the Garden of Remembrance and Croke Park, the scene of the 1920 Bloody Sunday massacre. She also made her way to the Rock of Cashel and met well-wishers in Cork.
I told her that today, almost to the day, it's 30 years since I got married, and that was the last time I was this nervous on the morning. But yeah, we had a lovely chat, and she's a lovely woman, and it was just fantastic. Really, really nice.
But not everyone was happy to see her.
We're not planning on disrupting the visit. We're not planning on, abusing the Queen as she passes. We're here to celebrate our republicanism, and that's what we're going to do in a very peaceful manner.
Despite the protests, the visit was deemed a success.
For me, it demonstrated just how important this is in terms of a new beginning for Anglo-Irish relations, because Ireland this week measured up to the highest global standards, and for that we can be very proud.
A year later, and the milestones continued. This time, the location was Belfast, where the Queen was on a 2-day Diamond Jubilee visit. In a historic and symbolic moment, Queen Elizabeth and Sinn Féin's Martin McGuinness, a former IRA leader, shook hands. And although he refused to attend the gala banquet held in her honour during her trip to the Irish Republic, it has been confirmed he will be a special guest of the Queen during a state banquet at Windsor Castle. And now it's President Michael D. Higgins' turn for the next milestone, with his historic state visit to the United Kingdom. Some say Irish-British relations have never been better, and with this visit, they can only improve.